Now, our feature presentation.
This is Epic Brand. And now, here.
Computer has one job. It's the only thing I use that one computer for is to play one stinking song a day. All that computer has to do is play one song a day, and then it goes back to sleepy sleep. So I don't understand why it would just continue to stop and start when there's nothing wrong with it. The computer's brand new, and that's all it does.
I'm gonna guess.
No, it's not the user.
I mean.
Shut the fuck up.
The only logical answer to that.
No, it's not the logical answer. God, you guys are annoying.
Happy Monday.
It's funny.
You're on your laptop mic or computer mic.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ashley.
Oh.
Yeah. Must be the user. Must be the user.
I mean, it's the user there too. What do you mean?
Well, that's obviously the user. Anyway, it's Andrew C. Demetrius Nicodemus, Gina, Eastside Southside Gina, Chris Tiefel, and the P's, Donald and Ashlyn. Welcome everybody to the show. So Chris Tiefel and I were talking before the show, and I was annoying him about something, and I told him he was just jealous of my talents, and then he said, "No," he said, "definitely 100%." No doubt not jealous of your talents. And I said, yeah, that's what someone jealous of my talents would say. And then we decided that that's what you could say about anything. It's like honestly, I didn't kill her, officer. Yeah, that sounds like something somebody who killed her would say. Right, exactly. or you really want to bang my wife? No, I don't. Well, that's something that someone wants to bang my wife would say. I mean, you can do that.
But what do you say? Like, yes, I do, for sure.
I know.
I mean,
Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Like legit, that is how my wife tries to give me a stroke every day. Is she argues that, and I'm just like, and there's no rebutting that. You can't even defend it. She's like, well, that's something that somebody who does that would say, and I would be like, I'm like, well, what's the opposite of that? And I will say that. And then she goes, that's a question that somebody who's done that would ask. And you're like,
It shuts down the conversation. There's no comeback from that.
Yeah, you're getting painted into a corner big time.
Oh my God. If she was a federal prosecutor, she'd have 100% conviction rate.
Oh God, it's so funny. Anyway, welcome everybody. So I know it's Monday morning. A couple things for you. First off, I will tell you, it's February 1st, and every Monday in February, the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, Dunkin' Donuts is giving away free coffee for the month.
It better just be black.
Starting today. Why?
It better just be black coffee. No, because you should not be allowed to get cream in it or anything. It should be strong and just militant black coffee.
You have a little cream in it. I mean,
no, for the month of February, straight black coffee.
So they're calling it Free Coffee Mondays, and just like it sounds. I mean, it's not really hard to figure out.
Are you trying, Demetrius? Are you trying to say if you're only half black coffee that you can't get it for free?
I only get to celebrate. I only get 2 weeks in this month, and I picked the first week and the end of the month.
Smart.
Yeah, I'm bookending.
That's something a half black person would say.
Yes. You should see my Amazon Prime watch list right now. I got to fit all this shit in 14 days.
Which you already have the shortest month of the year to celebrate Black Appreciation, and now
which is why we have the biggest penises.
Oh, okay, it's making up for it.
Yes,
I'm glad.
How white people try to get back at us. They're like, "We'll give you the shortest month because of your huge dongs."
But that's something someone with a little dong would say.
I mean, but
Yeah,
wouldn't you rather have that though than a whole month? I mean, it's only like 3 more days.
Oh, absolutely.
3 more days
Definitely.
or 3 more inches.
I'd much rather, I'd much rather get lightheaded with an erection than celebrate 31 days.
I've never heard a black person complain about that stereotype ever. Like that's the one stereotype that black people are like, whatever.
We're happy to have that one. We're good. We're good.
Do Asians compare or complain about having the smart stereotype? Like, hey, you guys are so smart.
Yes,
I mean,
I've met
stupid
a couple
Asians
of,
probably do.
I've met a couple of dumb ones.
I have 2. There's this guy, and I feel so bad for him. He delivers to me, and I see him all the time. He's a nice kid. He's going to Owens right now. And I was like, man, what do you want to do? He goes, I don't know. He goes, just kind of getting through life. He's only been in the States for 7 years. His parents came here from, I don't know where in Asia, but I don't know if he's Chinese or whatever. But him and his family brought him here 7 years ago. And his parents now work in restaurants. So his dad is a prep cook, or dad is a line cook in one Chinese restaurant, and his mom is a prep cook in another Chinese restaurant. And this kid is going to Owens, and I feel bad for him. I was like, man, your parents have to work hard. You're working hard. You don't know what you want to do with your life. He goes, look, man. He goes, there's 1 billion people in. I know. I said, are you glad you came here to America, or would you like to go back home? Because I mean, your parents just work in restaurants. You're just going to Owens, whatever. I said, I don't know. The American dream is a little far, because he doesn't know what he's gonna do. His American
You don't
dream.
know what his dream is. His dream could just be to have some space. I mean, he came from a place where there was 1 billion people. Like,
that's what he said.
May want a 6-foot radius around him.
He said 1 billion people are there. He goes, even if 50. He said they're very smart. So if you have some very smart people, even 50% of the population, that's 150 million people, or it's 500 million people that you have to compete with. He goes, I'm not that smart. I'm not that guy. He goes, so I came to America, but his parents don't even speak English. So I don't know. It's just, I thought it was interesting. I guess I don't think I explained it very well because it was off on my head, but I feel bad for him because he's not really, he doesn't even believe in himself that he's going to be destined for greatness. So I felt bad for him.
Or he just doesn't want to have that conversation with some random stranger he drops things off to.
So
I'm just saying.
Then I told him, so here's the thing, man. You're going to business college. You're going to business school at Owens to study business. I said, you're going to buy your own Chinese restaurant, bring both your parents over to your Chinese restaurant. You're going to handle the business side. Your dad's going to do the line. Your mom's going to do the prep. You're going to all be together, and you're going to live the American dream. I will make sure of it. Okay.
Yeah. Because the American dream totally is having your parents work for you.
Yeah. Until you have to write one of them up. And then all of a sudden, now it's uncomfortable because mom's on 90-day probation because she just can't seem to get to work on time. And then dad's like, you're making my life miserable because you put her on 90 days. And I'm the one who's employee of the month every time. I got to come home with this certificate and rub it in her face and let her know that she's not good enough.
Go ahead, Donny. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, speaking of business, young man, how much do you know about ghost kitchens?
I've heard people dabble in it. Why?
No, him. You have his parents start a ghost kitchen for him.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be called PHUCKYOU Chinese food.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's no ghost kitchen Chinese food ghost kitchens right now.
No. Anyway, so Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, real quick, one other drink news. Coca-Cola is rolling out a new coffee-infused soda with more caffeine than ever before.
Yes,
I think
please.
I've seen that.
I think they do that in the 90s. It was called Jolt, but it wasn't coffee infused. It was just like extra caffeine.
Right, but this one's got extra caffeine and coffee. It's 0 sugar, and it's hitting stores nationwide in ready-to-drink coffee aisle.
That's awful.
I love coffee, and that sounds horrible.
It's infused with brilliant Brazilian coffee. Comes in 3 flavors: dark blend, vanilla, and caramel, or dark blend, vanilla, and Demetrius. The zero sugar counterpart comes in dark blend and vanilla. So look for that. It started back in 2018. They did a pilot program, and now it's launching nationwide. Coffee infused cola.
So
Yes, why don't we just take two things that you love and mix them together and make them one thing that you hate?
Yes, like I love spaghetti and burritos. So I want to make a new spaghetti infused burrito.
That actually
This burrito
sounds awesome.
The girls had us make spaghetti tacos one night, and they were actually really good. So spaghetti burritos might be a hit.
Hey, so I found this article about the Dunkin' promotion. And it says that it includes Dunkin's range of hot coffee options, such as Dunkin's Midnight, the coffee chain's darkest roast ever.
Oh yeah,
that was the one they decided to highlight in the Black History Month promotion.
I have a fun coffee fact for you guys.
Oh,
did you know the darker the roast, the less the caffeine? So a lot of people think that if they drink their coffee very strong tasting, like dark roast or midnight, whatever, that they're actually getting stronger coffee. But if you want more caffeine, then you get the lighter roast, because the longer it roasts, the less caffeine is in the coffee.
Interesting.
I drink it because I like it.
I drink it because I can't, my brain, I drink it because I'm an addict now. And my brain will not function without coffee. Like I'll go through the whole day in a fog if I don't have coffee in the morning.
I will tickle your balls for a 6-ounce cup of black java.
It depends on whose balls.
Ma'am, you got a problem.
Possibility.
It'll be interesting to see what happens to Gina when society collapses and she can't get coffee.
I'm going to kill everybody and be the last person left. Or get killed because I'm a mega bitch without coffee. Somebody's shooting me first.
Yeah. So anyway, I wrote another thing. We do have our phone is working now.
Right.
So if you want to call in, we could have our first call of the show. If someone were so inclined, 419-931-6032. 419-931-6032 if you'd like to call in and opine.
Call in just so that we can see if Andrew's lying.
No, I swear.
Mr. Ron Westfall Jr., if you're out there.
Anyway, so what's going on? Weekend highlights and lowlights. Who wants to start? I don't really have one off the top of my head, but does anyone got anything that they want to weekend highlight or lowlight?
I can talk on. As you can see, we're in a little bit different location in the house for our. We're still sharing a screen. We're trying to put together a second screen for me and Ash, and basically, I don't even know where to start. We've just had so many issues with putting like furniture together. There's a new desk underneath this computer. These chairs are from Amazon, and you know how you got those spinny chairs, and they've got
tipped over about 7 times already.
Like the legs, they have like 5 wheels, but they're too short. So if you lean like too far either way, you're about to completely fall over. So.
Did you guys get your computer from IKEA as well? Is that what happened? Is you guys have to put that together?
Well, yeah. So I still have to put the computer together, and then I have not had a desktop computer in so long that I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I need to make sure I have like an internet cord. Like it's not going to be wireless, so there's no internet in this room. So I have to like wire like internet into this room now. It's
how long of a cord do you need, Donny?
Oh, I probably need at least 50 feet.
Okay, because I have a 20-foot. I was going to let you use it.
I have a 50-foot you can have if you want it.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
But it's funny because the internet, your internet is spotty, so you're kind of cutting in and out. But we get the gist of what you were saying. But now we understand the issues because you're.
I thought you guys were like in your panic room or something. like the kids had taken over the rest of the house. And
right.
I think all parents do need one of those rooms where they can just lock the kids out.
We don't have one of those.
You guys need one. This could be one. And then
I love how Ashley looked at Donnie. We don't have one of those yet.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else highlights, lowlights?
I had the most perfectly relaxing weekend. I don't think I did anything at all. So that was my highlight. I did nothing.
You know, have you? We started watching. We had a good relaxing weekend as well, or at least a good relaxing Sunday. But what we ended up watching, we're watching This Is Us. I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago. So we're about 9 episodes in. So good that show is. It's the one on NBC. It's funny. You cry and you laugh in the same episode. It's just so well.
What show is this?
This is
Us. Remember this show that was taking over the nation 7 years ago? that show.
Well, okay, I want to ask you guys, is there a show that you guys are behind on that you're just discovering now that you remember everyone else had the hype about back then, and then you're like, oh, this is good? Because for me,
I'm usually pretty on top of these things.
Yeah, I found this show. It's called Lost. Have you guys heard of Lost? These people are on a plane and something happens. Smoky guy.
The disappointing ending. Just stop now.
Yeah, it sucks because I can't remember how many seasons Lost was on, if it was like 4 or 5, but my ex and I were really into Lost when it was on the air, and we stopped watching like at the last season, so we didn't get to find out what happened to them. We just kind of lost interest, and they're just, as far as we know, they were just stranded on the island, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. They're still stuck.
But yeah, and then I heard the ending was so bad that I mean we bailed on the last season, but I heard that it wasn't I didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
that's kind of how we've been with we used to be huge like Bachelor and Bachelorette fans, and we have not watched for the last few years because it's just become so like
repetitive.
Into like their 167th like season.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long time. I've been watching.
Have any of them worked out?
A couple of worked.
Tristan, right? Ryan, they're like the first couple.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they all failed after that.
I'm the same way. I used to love 2 shows for me that I loved and I've just lost interest in for some reason. 3 shows. One was American Idol. I lost interest after the Crystal Bauer Sox thing, because then I realized that you invest all this into them, and then you hardly ever see him again anymore. Like, well, of course, when it was Carrie Underwood and it was Kelly Clarkson and it was, but after like season 5 or 6, whenever Crystal Bauer Sox won, then you started not seeing him. So I used to watch what was the not Dancing with the Stars, but the one where they found So You Think You Can Dance, same thing. Like I would invest all this time, and you really never saw them again, because So I'm like,
because the name of that show should have really been So You Really Want to Be a Backup Dancer in a Video. Like that's what the name should have been.
I mean,
and like,
I kind of
who goes out? Right. Who goes out and goes, oh my God, look at that dancer.
Sometimes when people ask me, like, dude, if you had it all over to do all over again, like, what would you do different? I'd be like, I really probably would have just been a backup dancer in a Britney Spears video.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? You do look like a little Kevin Federline, right? I can give you that. You can break it down,
dude. You probably, if you were young and a young Donald P. and in a Britney Spears video, you probably would have been banging Britney Spears. You probably would have one of her children right now.
I'd just be,
yikes!
I'd just be waiting. I would have just been waiting to meet Ashley, like after a show one day. And at the sports arena in Toledo.
Yeah.
Throw your towel. Just throw your towel right into the audience and watch her snatch it from all those other hungry broads.
Scratch her back out of some other bitches.
Yeah. And I probably would have believed you were so straight too. So it would have been like match made in heaven.
You still do now.
Still on the fence.
Hey, speaking of Britney Spears, Ashley, you follow the Britney Spears social media
saga at this point.
The saga.
Guys, honestly, it's so like I feel like I could talk for hours and hours and hours just dissecting every single thing that she posts, which is the same things over and over again, the same dances. I don't know if you guys can like pull up a clip of what her dances look like, but OMG. Yeah.
You
guys, you have to see. Like, is anyone familiar with this Instagram?
Kara's shown me. Yes. Kara's shown me a couple of the videos, and it makes it very difficult to argue
that she's
the
not
fact
mentally unwell.
that she should have control over
Yeah.
even a remote control.
Right.
Right.
You know that her social media, whenever because everyone that doesn't know, her dad is in charge of her money, and it's been that way for like a decade. And I'm sure that this Instagram or these videos come out about the time when she tries to get her own independence. And they're like, look at this.
Which confuses me. She's deemed not competent enough to deal with her own money, but she's deemed competent enough to have custody of her children.
She doesn't.
No, she's
have
not.
custody
She
of her
doesn't have
children.
custody.
She has
of her
joint
children.
custody.
Well, I mean, she sees them every now and then, but they're mostly with their father.
Kevin Federline has primary custody of her.
Okay, that's even worse.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
But I mean, that just says everything you need to know. Like, I don't really know Kevin Federline that well, but like, he seemed like a playboy and like a single dude. So, but the fact that he has custody over his teenage children and
he's the more responsible of the two.
But look, so this dance, let me just break it down. Also, I just want to say, side note, if she, like, obviously she is mentally unwell, but I feel like there's more going on. So I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm not trying to say anything about like anyone who's going through it. I'm not. I am seriously worried about her, like genuinely worried about her because, you know, she was like the biggest star when I was a teenager. You know, she was like our idol. So to see her like crashing and burning, you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But so it's just the videos of this over and over and over of the same dances, the same thing. And then the last video or second to last video, I think she tagged Justin Timberlake in it. She was dancing to one of his songs. And I was just like, okay, now sister girl done lost it because that's been like 15 or 20 years ago.
Hey, and then Justin Timberlake texts back. He's like, bitch, you trying to start a fight in my house?
Seriously.
What are you doing?
That's
you
what I
don't
was thinking.
tag me.
Yeah.
Jessica gets an alert before I get an alert.
Right? But like, I want to know what I kind of want to know his reaction. Like, I want to know, I don't know. Is it like, does everyone see this? Or is she really just like kept away from everyone and she's going nuts? Like, what is really happening?
Yeah, and the
something is going on.
I'd go nuts if I could spend my own money.
The problem is we loved her we probably still do, but we loved her so much because we watched her grow up.
Yeah.
And so there's a vested interest in Britney Spears. Remember when she went crazy when she cut her hair and took a baseball bat to something and she'd gone through she was going through it back then.
Nobody called Sinead O'Connor crazy when she shaved her head.
Whoa.
I mean, I think that they did actually.
Oh yeah. But I mean, so that's the thing. Like, so what, like, I don't know. I feel like we have to crack the code. So, you know, the conspiracy theorist in me thinks that boyfriend of hers is the boyfriend is weird. Yes. All you got to do is take a 20-minute stroll down her Instagram posts and you will see that this man is not trustworthy. If you're a woman, you will see that. If you're a man, you may not see that. But
Ashley is so vested. Like the dude that was cheating on his wife with the 4 girlfriends, 5 fiancés.
Oh, it's up to like 17 now, and he got arrested for forging documents. That's Jason Collier. That story had turned into like that dude's life is over.
Like, there's something. I mean, I understand people have like. You've watched Britney Spears since she was on the Mickey Mouse Club, and you've watched her do Slave and everything. But you know what? I think the horrible thing about it is that when you're that young and you're in the spotlight, and then you legitimately have like a mental disease, and people watch that in front of you, like that's a horrible. Like she's not, nobody's drugging her. Nobody's doing any of those things. Like she literally, like her dad has to check in with the court to make sure that everything is okay. He just doesn't get to run roughshod over her without any kind of supervision. I mean, and so I think when people try to turn it into it's so much more than this and she's being taken advantage of, that we really lose sight of the fact that this is somebody who is really suffering from a mental illness, and I would say probably pushes back on taking her medication.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. But these rabbit holes that I don't know if they're distractions or what they're. You know what I love. Here's one thing that I love, and I'm not going to get political. I promise. I love the fact that we don't talk. We don't like. There's no politics to talk anymore. It's all so boring. This is the way it used to be.
Remember this?
I don't even know what's going on. Like, I don't care what's going. It's back to before making America great again. Like, I don't even concentrate on that stuff anymore.
That makes me so mad, though. Can I tell you why? Because it just shows how much of it was just a bunch of shit pulled up by people and started by people. Because I've noticed it too, and it actually makes me really upset. And so everybody says it was Trump's fault that everybody was behaving that way, but no, it was actually everybody behaving that way.
Well, you know what they said? They said that once Trump got banned from social media platforms, misinformation went down 70%.
70%. I mean, here's if he would have not tweeted, he would still be president. I don't know what his urge was to do that and continue to play to the base. And, most people, 35% of the people love him. The other 65% don't. Now in Ohio, it's 50% plus. Matter of fact, they want to make, there's some congressmen that have proposed his birthday needs to be the new President's Day. There needs to be a Trump President's Day.
Which doesn't make any sense because he has no actual connection to Ohio.
Right.
Like why would Ohio make a holiday out of somebody that's not from Ohio, never lived in Ohio? Come on.
The problem is the Republicans have been held hostage. The Republican politicians, the Republican party that still follow Trump.
To get political, though.
They've been brainwashed, but the Republican politicians, they need that 35%. Without the 35%, they'll never win. So they have to get his 35% because they have to continue to act like this is all like that was all normal. Like we woke up from Crazy Town. We're like, wow, that was some shit.
Look, all we have to just understand is that Donald Trump is Master Blaster from beyond Thunderdome. No one does shit in Bartertown without Master Blaster's consent. Yes. Who run Bartertown?
I mean, so the politicians are just doing shit behind your back now. So, it's like, I understand what you guys are trying to say, but I really disagree. And all of the horrible things that were going on while he was president are still happening.
You can find everything out if you look for it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not in your face. It's not in every single social media post. There's still the Donald Trump hang-ons that are like, oh, gas is going to be $6. Thanks, Joe Biden, or those things. I just ignore that shit though. It's such a minuscule amount of people now compared to the craziness that was 4 years, and it's so nice.
Well, they've all gone to .win websites, so like Great Awakening .win. Things like that. You really want your daily dose of crazy. Enjoy.
I don't. I won't search it out. It was.
Why would I do that when I have Britney Spears Instagram?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Why?
Real stuff to talk about.
Why not? Why go to something dark and not fun when you can get somebody who looks like her makeup has been done by raccoons in the dark?
So many people comment all the time, like, "Girl, get yourself some eye makeup remover," and I'm like, "Oh,
I know." She looks like she's been watching all the sad episodes of This Is Us.
Yeah,
this is a show that was popular 7 years ago.
The sad parts. She paid someone to put together just the sad parts.
Couldn't it be like she's just used to doing stage makeup? Because then don't they do that like a lot heavier so you can see it?
Yeah.
No, this is not stage makeup.
That is not.
Her weave is falling out like every video. I mean, she's just not taking care of herself.
Don't you just think that room smells like cat pee? Like, don't you look at her and go, somewhere there's a pet that just goes wherever he or she wants to? Yeah.
Aw.
All right. Anyone else got any weekend highlights or lowlights they'd like to share?
I was ruined yesterday by Sony PlayStation and the people of Japan. Let me tell you, I hold them all responsible for
the whole population.
The entire population. There's a reason Godzilla picks on them. So now, yesterday, my son wanted to play The Amazing Spider-Man, which is a video game that hasn't been touched in my house for months and months. So I put in the disc and it says it's got an update, and then it just starts erroring out. It's just error. It says 128 minutes. It says 345 hours before any of this shit starts to take place. Yeah. And my son is well, he's a very determined child. When he thinks that he wants to do something, then it has to happen. And if it doesn't happen, people need to be held responsible. That is how he lives his life. That is his samurai code. If it doesn't happen, then somebody must be held accountable. And that was me. I was held accountable. It was my fault because I couldn't Google how to fix a software patch update on a Sony PlayStation. And I didn't understand why software or how software worked. And if I just shook it, then maybe it would work itself out. But I kept on putting this disc in for the entire Saturday. It went into Saturday morning. I mean, Sunday morning, all the way until like late Sunday afternoon, until I got to a point where I started to hate that boy. I started to hate him because he was crying and he was screaming. And I was like getting mad, and Kara was getting mad, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I will fucking throw this goddamn PlayStation on the ground. No one will ever see this damn thing ever again. And Kara looked at me and she goes, turn it off. I'm fucking sick of this shit. Both of you two, stop it. And then she said to me, she goes, you're acting like a child. And I went, he started it. And then so
go to your rooms.
Yes. And so now I'm fucking sitting and I'm salty and I'm angry at PlayStation. And then I wake up this morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it again. And it errors out. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand software, but let me do this. I take out the disc and I spray it with Windex and I put that bitch back in. And don't you fucking know if that thing didn't start to work like it was brand fucking new.
Windex is the answer for everything.
Right? And this is where I got mad because I didn't jump to maybe the simplest solution. I jumped to Japanese engineers who need to fucking answer my email that I sent to them yesterday and then tried to follow up with, but nobody felt the need to get back to me. And bam. So
see, that's how far advanced the Japanese are in tech. They actually did get your email and fix it, but there was like a plugin where they wanted to make you think it's your fault. So it wouldn't work all the way until you popped it out and wiped it off.
I literally was like this. Well, I guess my PlayStation doesn't work. It's just broken. I guess that's just what it is. There's no more. I said, yeah. He goes, Cohen was like, we're going to have to get a new one. And I was like, you're going to have to get a job.
It's weird that it's weird that when you go to bed, have you ever gone to bed mad? It's hard to wake up mad. You have to really make efforts to wake up mad. Like no matter what, it seems like a good night's sleep. Really,
Ashley's like, you know what? Sleep to me is just pause for angry.
Yeah. I've gone to bed mad, and then I've woken up extra mad because I'm tired and I didn't get enough sleep, so I'm still pissed.
Oh wow. Yeah. Like for me, waking up is the reset button. Like no matter what a shitty day I had, and I don't know, it's just going to bed.
Because men have a reset button. Women don't have the reset button.
Yeah, they do. You just gotta hit it a bunch of times.
When their minds work at a little bit of a higher level than ours, so they're asleep and they're still reviewing all the shit they're mad about and then finding new things. And so when they wake up, they're even madder because of the new things they've discovered while they were asleep.
Probably, he's probably right. Go ahead.
Well, why don't you ask the women in the group and we'll let you know? But
I mean, let's give Chris some. Go ahead. Let's give Chris some credit. I mean, he has spent thousands of hours observing women through windows, so it makes him kind of an expert on their behavior.
Well, all of the stereotypes that he's heard of about women, he's just
no.
regurgitating.
That's from living with that's from living with women when I was growing up and stuff. Every single goddamn time they'd be mad at me, they'd go to bed, then they'd wake up and they'd be more mad at me because they came up with all this other shit while they were asleep.
Well, let me tell you why we wake up more mad. Okay, because it's your responsibility as a man to end that shit, squash it, so that I can go to bed happy. Okay, I'm not thinking about new things to be mad about. I'm trying to get unmad. Okay, you have to.
I was gonna add that. Yeah, Ashley waking up mad has 100% everything to do with me going to bed.
No, he'll always fall asleep.
Mad.
Yeah, he's like, we'll be in an argument or like just drinking. He'll fall asleep. I can't fall asleep when I'm mad. Like I like to talk out and figure it out before I go to sleep. Like, let's squash it. No, he'll go to sleep and then he'll like wake up and be like, "Hey, babe, good morning," and I'm like, "I hate you. What are you doing?"
Okay, it's such a good point. There are times where Colleen and I will be mad, and I'll go to sleep, and I'll be waking up with drool the next morning. I'll be like, "Hey, good morning," and she's like, "I was up crying all night." I'm like, "What?"
Yes.
I hear it. I'll sleep.
See, look, and you can't. Look, I tell you what, that is a good way to get stabbed in your sleep. Is to sit there, is to go to sleep and go, you know what? I'm okay. I'm at a point where I'm so okay that I could go to sleep right now.
And I'm gonna go to seconds too, by the way, nonetheless.
I'm gonna go to sleep right now because it doesn't fuck with me as much as this is fucking with you.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna put my head on a pillow and close my eyes, and I'm gonna expect you not to grab a brick and pound me in the head with it. Because
I think Lorena Bobbitt was a wake-up call to us all.
Well, you still didn't heed the warning because you assholes still go to sleep before us and wake up happy. So
and we have to in our head hope that our relationship is strong enough that you won't smash my head with a brick.
I mean, I would never do that, but
I have to have that.
Be honest, Ashley. How many times after he's gone to bed have you laid there and just stared at him and wondered if you could?
No, 0 times. I'm so mad at him that I don't even want to look at his face. So I'm like,
at least grab a Sharpie, maybe put angry eyebrows on him.
I'm like, yeah, that's probably something more I would do. That would be fun. That's a good idea. Thanks, Tiefel. Penis face.
But I didn't know. I didn't. Yeah, I just figured we all wait. Like for me, sleeping is a reset, and I guess for men it's a reset. For women, it's 8 hours for you to think about how pissed you are, and to be even more pissed. Because now you're like you said, as you said, you're tired and you're pissed from what happened.
Yeah, because you're sitting in there and you're like this. You're like, oh, and he's gonna sleep.
Yeah.
And he's gonna pretend like this isn't a big fucking deal. He's gonna act like he doesn't, like I'm the only one who cares about this bitch. This is how I'll let him sleep. Let him sleep.
Our relationship obviously is important enough to him. He can just go right to sleep. But I think about this shit. It's in my head.
Yeah.
Listen, think about this the next time you want to do that, okay? Is your sleep worth a whole day's worth of the silent treatment?
It all depends on how high pitched your voice is.
The silent treatment's not really a punishment for men. Yeah. That's really not.
I love the silence.
I know, we would like to think it would be, I guess it isn't really.
I don't know. You know what? Because
a good exchange for me running my mouth nonstop. There we go.
Yeah,
my mouth for the whole damn day.
See, Ashley, I agree that the silent treatment is definitely a thing, and it's not the silence; it's like the weight that comes with it.
Yes.
There's a weight and there's like a heaviness in the house, like an uneasiness. It like you expect like something to levitate or somebody take a shit in the middle of the floor and go and say some shit like only Rockman may live, and then scurry up the steps.
It's
like,
true.
It's
true, Gina. It is not just the silent treatment; it's everything that comes with it. And there's this tension in the house. Women don't realize how powerful their
we realize it.
Yeah, we do.
I'll call it aura or something. But when the kids and I look at each other, it's like, all right, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can't
You're
do
like
that.
slamming things, like unnecessarily setting things down harder than they need. Like you're making dinner and you're just slamming things down. I do that, slamming doors, or I'll just bitch loudly. Like I drive Dubs crazy because I won't say like you do this or you do that. I'm like everyone this and everyone that. And he's like, me? You mean me?
Right.
Yeah. Well, leaving for work like in the middle of the silent treatment is kind of a power move for a dude because like you know that you're gonna get a phone call and there's gonna be some productivity lost at some point in the day. Like this is gonna be talked about and it's not gonna wait until you get home.
And there's gonna be no. Here's the thing. It's basically so when you leave and it's not resolved, you're gonna get 75 text messages. You're gonna be going back and forth. It's like we could have had this conversation at the house, or we could have it on the phone. But you want to send text after text after, and then when I try to call you, you won't answer. But you'll send another text right after that, explaining what's going on. I was in the middle of a text. Well, it's just read me your text then. If I want to talk to you, just read me the text.
You know, we could have gotten done with this conversation is the length of time it took me to read this 35 paragraph text message that you sent me. Like we could have had this conversation.
The only time I send a text is when I have to apologize. But otherwise I would like to talk about it on the phone.
Well, we can't text fight because our kids have our old phones.
Yeah.
And they're hooked up just to like the what do you call it, the cloud, our profiles or whatever. So they'll get anything that we send. So we've got to talk.
We have to.
Mom, why is Dad a fucking asshole?
Also leaves out other activities texting wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Those went away a long time ago.
Like, what day did you get married? That was about the day.
Oh, women are very complicated. It's very funny.
Oh my God, no, we're not. And that's
I don't
the
think
funniest part.
I don't think that's true. I think men are.
That's what
you guys are slow or something. Then,
yeah.
Is what somebody who is complicated would say. That is exactly what somebody who's complicated would say. Is I'm not complicated.
Okay. Well then, guys. Just
Colleen just came in. She's like, "What'd you say? It's funny that we're dynamic." Yes, that's what it is.
Dynamic is such a good word because it's so true. But what do you guys think, like from a male's perspective, is the most what confuses you so much about women? Like, why do you
Okay. Here's something that has always perplexed me. My wife says I don't ask enough probing questions when I'm having conversations with my friends. Like we'll talk and my friend will be like, hey, I'm having a pretty bad day. And I'm like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then, but she'll ask me follow-up questions like, what brought on this bad day? And I'm like, I don't know. He just told me he's having a bad fucking day. She's like, well, what happened to...
Wait, here's our conversation. Tell me, like, hey, man, I'm having a bad day. Oh, that sucks, bro. You watching the game tonight?
Yeah.
No.
Or I'll go, this is me. Wow, I'm having a bad day. Oh, really, bro? It'll get better tomorrow. All right. You good? You good. All right. But then she wants to know like what precipitated the bad day. How exactly is he going to attack making his day better? Is there a backup plan in case this other thing doesn't actually work out to make him happy? And I'm like this. Didn't occur to me, didn't occur to ask that. Any of that shit. No.
But that's how, because I think we're mixers, so we need to know all of those things so we can figure it out for you. I know for sure that's how I am.
Yeah, I agree. So here's the difference between men and women and why that happens is that when you guys bitch to each other, you're not looking for answers. You just want to bitch. Like you just want to vent. I'm having a crappy day. And you want your friend to be like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Like that, you're not looking to your friend to fix your problem. But usually when women complain to each other, we're coming to each other to fix the problem. So that's why it's different, because she wants to know why you're not fixing your friend's problem when we fix our friend's problems.
I think that's the exact opposite. Because my wife tells me all the time that she doesn't want me to fix shit. She just wants me to shut up and listen.
You're misunderstanding. We complain to our friends to fix it, not to you. We don't want you to fix our problem.
But hold on. So if you're watch is broken, your favorite watch, the watch you wear all the time, and the guy, it doesn't matter who fixes it, you're just appreciative that it's fixed.
That's a terrible example.
Why does it matter who fixes it? Why does it matter who fixes it as long as it's fixed?
That's a terrible example because you can't tell me as a female about something. If I have a problem, if I'm having a relationship problem with Dubs, I am calling Ashley. If I have to pick from this panel, Ashley's the person I'm calling. I'm not calling Tiefel or Andrew or Demetrius. I'm calling Ashley, and I'm going to say, Ashley, this is my problem, and she's going to say, here's what I would do, and that we're going to have that conversation. I'm not calling one of you guys.
Hold on.
Why wouldn't you call Donny? He's in a relationship, and they're doing okay for the most part, it seems.
It seems. No.
Right. Hold on. Colleen wants to say, go ahead, Colleen.
I would just like to say that I call Gina and I do not want advice. I want to vent.
Well, and I ask her that. Do I not? I say, right. Are we looking for advice or do you just want to vent? Because sometimes we just want to just get it out, and sometimes we want a problem fixed. So it's important to ask. And I think that works in friendships and relationships.
Unfortunately,
let a man real quick. Let a man go like this. Are we looking for advice or are we just looking to listen?
Does that, and I love
let a man ask
it.
that question.
That's where I was going with when Ashley asked why women are so complicated to men. And Demetrius, like what you just said, is we know what we're thinking. We think you know what you're thinking. Like, why do we get in trouble for not knowing or for not thinking what we should be thinking, or not already knowing what we should be upset about? Like just tell me what I should be thinking, and then we could get past that, like 2-hour part of where I should know.
Yeah, I need to know that we're having our mock debate and what side of the table I'm standing on. Yeah. Like I need you to take the affirmative on this argument. Right. I need you to take the negative on this argument.
So here's what you guys are doing right now. You're describing our problem, and I'm going to tell you, listen. So you guys want to be told what to do. Women are, from the second we wake up to the second we go to bed, we are planning, we are looking for things, we're knowing things, we're figuring everything out all day long. We're telling you guys what to do, what to think, telling the kids what to do, what to think all day long. It's go, 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 go. And you guys are just like, tell me what to do. And we're like, I'm going to fucking choke you out if you don't pick up some of this goddamn mental responsibility. We're tired. We're tired. You guys don't know what it takes from a female's perspective throughout the day mentally. Yeah. Like, we're exhausted.
But why is it taking so long for you to realize, and I will agree with you, men are task driven, and we don't see things the way you do. It's like, okay, so my mom lives with my uncle, and my mom is a clean freak, and it drives her crazy that my uncle, how did you not see this? How did you not see this? We don't see it. So you just tell us. You need to pick. You just give us tasks.
We don't want to. We don't want another fucking child. We want you to be a grown ass man and know what you're supposed to do.
It's realizing that we're just different. Go ahead, Demetrius.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not asking you to talk to me like a child. What I'm asking you to do is give me a little bit of direction and tell me what you expect. No, not like a fucking child. This is where we get into the big shitstorm. It's because now all of a sudden you expect me to read your fucking mind and just assume that I'm supposed to know exact. But I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, when I try to guess what you want instead of just asking you, I'm gonna get it wrong.
Okay,
right?
But
I'm gonna get it wrong.
Hold on,
we don't see things the same. I'll give you actually. Let me just real quick. We just don't see because you're gonna get mad because you see something on the floor. We truly don't see it, and so just tell us. Hey, can you pick that up? Because I see it.
You don't see it. You just don't see it as a problem.
Yep.
I think you guys don't understand how exhausting that is. I really don't. I wish we could switch places for one day so you can see how exhausting it is to go through every day, all day long, pointing out everything that needs to be done. And every day, something as simple as tell me what you want for dinner. Like, I know that the men say that's a woman thing, but fuck, we plan dinner every single day. Every day. When I ask this household, I'm like, I meal plan for the month. So I'm like, give me 5 things that sound good, and then I meal plan from that.
Oh, you see, you asked me to meal plan for the month. I'm not thinking 20 days ahead.
I don't care what you're thinking. I'm telling you what I'm thinking. So I am meal planning for the month, and I ask my household, name 5 things. This is a really simple thing. All of them walk around the house going, oh no, oh no, oh no, just pick stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck everybody here. You're eating McDonald's every day this month because I'm not cooking anything because I asked for something very simple. Give me 5 things that sound good to you. I'm not thinking about food right now. Well, you know what? You're going to be thinking about food in a week when I don't fucking cook for you.
Go ahead, Demetrius.
Wait, I want to respond to D though really quick.
Go ahead, Ash.
Yes, ma'am.
Because listen, you say, okay, so you're like, you don't think about the stuff that we think about. Specifically, a problem in our house is the cleanliness factor or the pickup factor, because basically I'm picking up after people all day long. And I don't know how many times I mutter to myself, I'm the effing maid, I guess, because no one else, like everything is set up. There's pretty much there's a laundry basket in every room. And if there's not, there's just a few steps to take to the other room to put your laundry away. There's garbage cans, there's paper towels, there's vacuums. Like I don't understand, after you've been with us for so long, how you don't look at something and go, you know what, that's probably really going to bother her. I should probably pick up after myself.
Donny. Go ahead, Demetrius.
Can I, and this is, all right. Look,
See,
if it bothers you, and it literally, and that's the thing. And when you try to push people into the framework of what you think they should be, I think that is where a lot of things happen and go sideways real bad. Like my big thing for a long time was I hated when people would put fucking dishes in the dishwasher when the dishwasher was empty, or when clothes were just thrown about.
When are you
know what
to put dishes in the dishwasher?
You're supposed to put them in the dishwasher, not in the sink. Don't leave that shit for other people.
Oh, okay.
You said dishwasher. Okay, now you
get it. So, but my thing was, if these are things that bother me, I cannot expect other people to fix the shit that bothers me, because it's my shit. Right?
Okay, so then I'm just supposed to change who I am because everybody wants to be messy. So then I have to accept that everybody's messy.
You live with messy people.
Fair. No, and that's not fair.
Look, life is not fair. Stop pushing that narrative. If it's a thing that, look, I decided, you know what?
I do it myself, which is what I do, but then I get pissed about it. And I'm like, can you guys just learn how to clean up after yourselves?
So
it feels like Demetrius and Ashley are on the couch and they're married and it's uncomfortable. Go ahead.
I feel like he's making problems for Donnie later.
I know.
No, we already have this problem and we fight about it. Fine.
It's mental warfare.
But what I said is just like, if that's my thing, then I take ownership of it and I just fix it myself, because now I'm not being stressed out over what somebody else is not doing. What I'm doing is I'm gonna do it, and that takes away all the bullshit for me.
See, it adds to my bullshit. But
go ahead, Donny.
I have 2 moves that I do, and I apologize, babe, because they're pretty.
I'm sure I know them.
They're pretty ruthless, but I can teach this to all the men out there. The first move is you naively act like it's the kids and not you. So you're like, babe, I understand completely. I'd feel the same way. And 2, so once you can blame it on the kids and take away your own responsibility, then you can guilt her into saying, I just appreciate these times, because, another 10, 15 years, it's just going to be you and me, and our house is going to be clean all day, every day.
And then she's going to realize when all those kids are gone and the house is still a fucking wreck, it's you.
Yeah, but you worry about that in 15 years.
Yeah, I got 15 years to come up with that.
You've taken care of that. You might even fix your problem in 15 years, but you've taken care of the short term.
So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to get her to appreciate the mess. That's like the most ass backwards.
So what you're trying to say is you're going to look at her and go like this: one day, honey, you're going to miss picking all this stuff up when all these kids are gone.
Believe me, I'm not going to fucking miss it, okay? I will not miss it.
Funny.
I love my kids,
men.
but I won't miss it.
Right. Men think that men tend, I guess shouldn't say men think, but it seems like men think that we don't tell them what, like, just tell us. If it bothers you, just tell us. We're not mind readers. Here's the thing. I have this house, and I know Ashley will agree with me, and I know Kara would too. I have this, and I know Colleen does. So I have this house streamlined. So there's a place for everything. Everything has a place. Like I try to get it so this house can run smoothly without too many hiccups throughout the day. And here's the plan. I've given you the plan. You see where everything goes, and you fuck it up. And I'm like, why didn't you just follow my plan? And everything would go fine if you just followed the plan. Like,
because this is my home and not my fucking job.
But it's the thing is it will make your life easier too.
No, it'll make your life easier.
No,
well, that's part of it. And if you love me, then you will go with this.
Yeah,
that's like here's the thing. Dubs is just thrown in the towel. Like he is. I have him 17 years. Well, it took the last couple have been really good. So it took me about 15 years to beat him down, like in the what do you call the military when you first boot camp, 15-year boot camp, where now he just goes with the flow. We hardly ever fight. His life is good. Ask him and I will tell you. His life is good. He just goes through his day. He goes to work. He comes home. He has dinner. He has, like, the kids are taken care of. Everything he needs is taken care of. He has completely conformed to happy wife, happy life. And our lives are excellent. And if you want me to get him on here to tell you, I will gladly do that.
Oh, yeah.
He will tell you.
Know,
it'd be like a hostage video.
Remember, this is how they used to train elephants. They used to, like, back in the day, they'd wrap their legs in chains for so long, and then they'd take the chain off and then just wrap it with a little rope. And the elephant still assumed it was a chain, so the elephant never attempted to do anything.
It's so unbelievable how asking you to take care of your own shit is like buckling you down.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you have to clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't cleaning up after myself when you met me. What the fuck did you think was going to change?
You know what? That's my advice for all the single ladies out there. That was, I admit fully,
Ashley,
I did everything. I did everything with a smile on my face because I thought this is how you get a man, right? And you don't know. But what you don't know is that you have to keep doing that now all the years later. So if you don't want to pick up continuously and do all of the things, don't start out doing it.
Exactly.
You
cannot be mad when you get a fucking car and you're like, oh my God, I got a Ford. I got a little Ford Chevy, little Ford it's driving. And then one day you wake up and then you're pissed that it's not a Ferrari. Are you fucking kidding? You bought a Ford. You knew it was a Ford when you fucking got into it.
Well,
it had a cigarette lighter. It had holes
together.
Okay, here's the thing.
Don't turn into Ferraris. Go ahead, Gina.
Here's the thing, though. We weren't picking up after you, picking up after your kids, doing all of those things before either. So why do you get to stay the same, but we don't? I'm going to keep doing the dating shit that I'm doing then. I'm not going to do wifely duties because you don't have to do husbandly duties. You're like, well, why you want me to change? Okay, well, then I'm not going to change either. I'm going to still keep. It's called growing, and you grow as a couple. You grow together. You compromise. You do all those things. You don't get to just stay the same as when you were 25. Because if I did, I'm out at the bar. Fuck you. You take care of the kids.
It's funny, too, because I've had this conversation with trainer Jeff, who's a big friend of the show, to where he's still he's almost 40 now, I think, and he's still pantsing people and so his first wife he just never changed. He was the same guy that she met. He was the same guy 15 years later. And she's like, I'm out. I'm fucking out. And he's like, man, I didn't want her to leave, blah, blah. Well, dude, but you had to grow up at some point. You're not Peter Pan. At some point, you have to grow up.
Yeah. He
wasn't going to grow up. Fuck that. That's the way I always was.
There is a difference between picking up after yourself and personal growth. Growth of character should not be attached to whether or not you pick up your underwear and put them in a clothes basket.
No, it really does.
No, it's about wanting to help your person in your life who does everything for you, and so you just want to be
I also think that there's a massive
helping them out too.
I also think there's a massive difference in what Andrew described and what we've been talking about, because I can't think of an appropriate time in a relationship, whether beginning or married for 17 years, that it's okay to pants your wife in front of other people.
Well, Jeff was the extreme example. I don't think
he's an outlier. Let's just call it what it is.
I think there's one line in one movie that can sum up women for all men, and it's the breakup. I want you to want to do the dishes. Like that's what we want. We want you to want to help us.
Right.
We want you to want to make our lives easier.
Men can't understand that. Men cannot.
Because our whole
I want to help you. I just don't know how.
No, our whole day is just revolved around making sure everybody else's day goes smoothly. I know that. I'm sure that's the same for Gina and Colleen and Kara. I know. So don't say we don't know what you want us to do. You know.
Demetrius, it's tough for us women, Demetrius, when you don't want to change.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
Kara would come on. I really would love to.
I am
that.
stunned. I am absolutely stunned because
Kara, call us.
Like change for women is just so easy. You ladies can stop doing things like at the drop of a hat and just grow. Like immediately, you're like chia seeds. The shit is crazy, and I'm a fucking sunflower. It takes me a minute to get my stalk up. It takes me another minute to fucking find the sun and then lean into it.
Yeah, you're a piece of clay, and you turn into a Barack Obama afro overnight. We aren't like that.
Yeah, we are a garden that needs constant tending.
Yes.
And
we know.
Then, but you can't be mad at the garden. You can't be mad at a tomato because a tomato decides to take its time to grow.
A tomato doesn't have a
you, tomato. When I put you in the ground, I expect you to change to my ideas. And if you're not going to grow with me, then we just going to grow separately.
Yes, then we're going to grow cucumbers because they're easier than tomatoes.
And you can.
All right.
One last ditch for us guys. One last ditch for us guys. Effort. If you could just give us a little bit of direction, because one thing that I don't think is appreciated is that as dudes, we have like a mental to-do list that's so far behind. Like there's no way we'll get to like a third of it in one day or
like
2 days.
And their cars.
Yes. We're so far behind on our to-do list. Like, so if just because I might look like I'm doing nothing, it's only because I'm avoiding doing 10 other things that I feel like I'm overwhelmed with that I have to do that I haven't done yet. So, I mean, I'll definitely get off my to-do list that I'm not working on right now to help you with yours.
Wait, go ahead, Colleen.
Do you want to compare to-do lists?
All right, hold on. Colleen, go ahead.
Listen, gentlemen, you guys will get a whole entire instructional manual as soon as we get one on how to navigate life and parenting and marriage and everything else. So until we get that, you guys just do what you see. Thank you.
Dude, touch my dick and whisper it in my ear. That's all you got to do. If you want it done, stroke me and then say like this, hey, take the garbage out. Guess what's fucking getting taken out immediately?
But why do we have to tell you every single week? Yeah. Why can't we say garbage goes out on Tuesdays and you guys take the garbage out on Tuesdays and every single Tuesday we have to say take the garbage out? Why?
Hold up.
Schedules change.
Andrew?
But the trash day remains the same, so take it out on a Tuesday.
Hey, Andrew, the trash is piled up right there in the kitchen for you. You got exactly what they said, so you can go ahead and take it out now.
Yes, I will. All right, yes,
I will.
So I was gonna.
You can't be getting handies on credit. That's not cool.
No, because it never. No, you gotta prepay. You gotta prepay that shit.
Yeah.
She prepaid it. Okay.
Ew. Gross. Damn it.
It's time for the news with the WTF news with Ebenezer Bushrod. Ebenezer, go right ahead. What do you got?
Well, everybody hates Porch Pirate, and they've gotten really prevalent lately. And Poor India Gardner up in Detroit came home from her job at Chrysler to find that a porch pirate had taken it to the next level and stolen her entire porch.
What?
What?
She used to have a small porch with several green steps up to it so she could get into her house. When she came home after work one day, she found the steps and the porch completely missing, and her having to use a ladder to get into her house.
Was it a trailer?
No, it was a regular house.
I feel like her house had wheels on it.
No,
this is a normal house. She's provided picture evidence and video evidence. She's put up a GoFundMe because she has to buy a new porch.
Like what? Well, why would
How long was she gone?
Yeah.
That is someone vindictive, because what are you going to do with it? You're not doing anything with it. You're just doing it to be an asshole. Go ahead, Donnie.
I've had someone go through my car out in front of my house like twice now in the last 2 weeks, and they haven't taken anything. They've just everything that was like in the glove box in the center console, they throw everywhere. Like and I'm like, maybe they're looking for change, but there's like maybe $2 worth of change, like where the like in the little console, they haven't taken that. It's just, I mean, I usually lock my car every night, but sometimes when I stop at the store and I carry bags in, I don't lock it. And like they've gone through my car and just made a mess and not taking anything. It's the weirdest thing.
So weird.
So yeah, so watch out for those porch pirates. They're taking things to the next level.
Yeah. What else?
Right.
Gina brought up Jason Collier earlier. There is a small update. He has resigned, and that was after he got arrested. But he didn't get arrested for, doing all this personal stuff on the county's time and wasting their money, or he didn't get arrested for murdering the missing woman or anything. He got arrested because he produced a fake county annulment document to one of his mistresses so that she would continue to see him even though she knew he was married.
Wow.
But that's people just because of the social media outrage. That's people just looking for a reason to fuck with him. Because if you're presenting a fake document, like I can't present a fake document to Colleen and you're going to come arrest me.
Not official.
Look, no.
Not a government document.
At the house?
No.
In my house? If I say
he's a county representative, Andrew. As the chief, he was a representative of the court. He's an officer of the court. He's presenting false paperwork as official.
To a girlfriend, to a bang partner. So what?
So imagine what he would do to somebody who he arrested.
So if I present a document to Colleen and say, this has been declared that I am the king of the world right here. This document just said it. You're going to come arrest me because I showed her a fake document?
First of all, she's going to rip it up and no one's going to know about it. But secondly, I think it's illegal.
I think that's just them looking for a reason to fuck with him because he's the most hated man in the country. Right?
Well, no, they're probably trying to get him in on something else. I've watched many 48 or First 48 or whatever. They're trying to get him in on something else because they're probably going to start questioning him about the girl that is missing. So
no, I get it
that way.
But that's just seemed like
dude. That's a hell of a leap. Could you imagine being called
they leap all the time.
Like the questioning room, and they're like, "So you produced this fake annulment document? Let's talk about the bitch you killed 7 years ago." You're like, whoa.
Well, eventually, I mean, I'm sure they're going to connect the dots somehow. I mean, these people do it for a living. So, I mean, if he's going to lie and break the law by producing a fake piece of paper that he knows that he should know is probably a felony since it's a government paper. I mean, what else would he do? I mean, the guy had 17 girlfriends. What the hell?
I mean, I agree, but that seems like such a trumped up charge. You showed your girlfriend a piece of paper and now we're going to arrest you. Get out of here. It's so stupid.
Well, it's more than that.
But, all right. Well, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina was having trouble with long lines in their drive-through vaccine, COVID vaccine centers. So the mayor decided to call in a professional. He called in Jerry Welkowkick. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. A Chick-fil-A manager.
Yes.
Oh wow.
To take care of his drive-through COVID vaccine lines and get them running efficiently. Because if there's anyone that knows how to run a drive-through line efficiently,
I've been saying that.
Chick-fil-A.
It's crazy. If Chick-fil-A can go around the building twice and you're out in 5 minutes. Man, Burger King has 3 people in line, and you're there for a half an hour. It's
one of the only places where if I see a super long line, I'll be like, well, you still go, because like if you see a super long line, any other fast food restaurant, you're like, no, I'll skip that. I'll go somewhere else. But if there's a really long line at Chick-fil-A, you're just like, oh, it's okay. Looks like it's about 5 minutes. In other places, it would be 35 minutes.
Because they got those kids with the tablets that like take your order and your money like right there. They've got it down in the order where they don't even ask if this is your order. They just hand it to you.
Well, did you know all the employees live in the basement? Like at the end of the shift, they just go and they're there all the time. It's really weird. I don't know.
Drinking Kool-Aid. Could you imagine just getting your vaccine and then a ton of Chick-fil-A sauce?
Yeah.
Like just as many as they like. I want 12 Chick-fil-A sauces, and they just.
I want to go get my vaccine now because of that.
I know.
Chick-fil-A sauce, yes.
At McDonald's, you're fighting for an extra packet of ketchup or 1 extra sweet and sour. At Chick-fil-A, they're making it rain on your face. You're like,
that's because Jesus fed the multitudes,
dude.
May I vaccinate you?
Yeah, you sit there and you're just like, I don't understand how I ask Kara all the time, where they find all these happy fucking people.
I know.
Like, where are they? And what's the training look like? Because it's got to be scary. Every movie I've seen where people are super happy when nobody's looking, there's somebody like anally raping them with like something.
Chick-fil-A
or they hold the eyes open and they flash all the scenes in front of their faces, like that kind of training.
Chick-fil-A calls it training. Anyone else would call it indoctrination.
Yes. Like Donald Trump is like, how can I get my people on this?
I think they make don't they make like $14 or $15 an hour?
Yeah, they make decent money and they're treated really well, and they have every single Sunday off. And I mean, they should. A lot of companies should take notes from Chick-fil-A.
Well, I say
except for the whole Sunday off thing.
If there's a case for $15 minimum wage, you bring in 2 workers. You bring in an $11 McDonald's worker and a $15 Chick-fil-A worker, and be like, which world do you want to live in? I'm like, I want to live in the Chick-fil-A world. Well,
yeah. These McDonald's employees talk to me like Afghanistan vets. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with these guys. They're twitchy, and you don't even want to question them about a missing nugget, Gina.
Extra sweet and sour. That's 50 cents. What?
Yeah.
I use a little more sweet and sour than anybody else. Come on. It's so ridiculous. All right. Anyway.
This shit comes out of my check.
They act like you're taking money right out of their check, like McDonald's counts the condiments at the end of the pay period.
But what if that's how they're trained? Like their trainers are like, don't give away the extras coming out of your check. I mean, I feel like that could totally be a thing.
It could be a thing.
It has to be a thing.
Right, is that it, Tiefel?
Well, last but not least, Eric Estevio of San Jose, California, has filed a lawsuit in Superior Court against the gaming streaming platform Twitch. According to court documents, he has said that they have aggravated his sexual addiction. He has now ended up with a chafed penis from chronic masturbation. Yeah. Because of the sexy streamers that they allow on there that he claims violates their terms of service in the first place.
Okay.
Because the chicks down there playing video games are hot, and he's doing himself, and he's like, man, my penis is chafed. I need to do somebody.
Yeah, he says that he's lost a bunch of money and got the chafed penis thanks to users like QT Cinderella and Mizzy Rose. He is himself already plagued by Crohn's disease, depression, panic disorder, agoraphobia, and obsessive-compulsive disorder, which he claims drives his self-proclaimed sexual addiction.
Does he know you don't have to watch Twitch? Does he know that?
Well, he says that he's not acknowledged that, but he says that Twitch makes it impossible to separate between male and female gamers, so he's forced to watch the sexually aggressive female gamers. But if you look at his profile, apparently he's subscribed only to female gamers on there. Like he's made no effort to seek out other gamers.
Lotion.
What's his name?
He's using a device, a lubricated device, fleshlight.
We could settle out of court with Jergens.
10 cases of Jergens. Are we good? Yes.
Yeah.
We're good.
So it's a 56-page lawsuit.
I don't understand. Okay, I barely understand people sit there and play video games all day. I definitely don't understand you watching somebody playing video
It's really no different than watching a television show or watching football. You're
Okay.
watching somebody else do something.
Watching them and then suing the company that you're watching them on.
I
It's
just
getting
wanna know
taken at
how-
every level.
Yeah, like where do you
And
find
knowing
an
that.
attorney
Oh,
to do that? And how do you even bring up that this is the lawsuit that you want to bring? Like,
Right.
I want to
he's-
sue Twitch for
I apologize. I forgot to mention his other injury. He claims burned retinas from watching the Twitch streams, and he's suing for $25 million.
All right.
Okay, so not only is he gonna not win that money, he's also now embarrassed himself, and everyone knows about his chafed wiener. So good job, guy.
Ladies, he's single.
Yeah.
I don't know. This article includes some pictures of the female gamers that he has named in his lawsuit, and he might actually get past the discovery phase.
I mean, that's the WTF news with Ebenezer Bushrod, and that is the show. Demetrius Nicodemus, Eastside, Southside Gina, Chris Tiefel, Donny and Ashley P. I'm Andrew Z. Thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Come on.